Welcome back, herbivores. Now today, I know I missed a few days of Veganary. I apologize. My computer was acting up and I wasn't able to edit videos, but I'm back and today I have a really delicious recipe that I'm sure a lot of you are excited about. It literally tastes like the best ribs, the fall off the bone ribs that I used to love. Also, I am back to my regular setup. My family did go back home, but I really would love to know your guys' opinion. If you liked the setup in my bedroom, we could keep doing that. We can keep going here. Whatever you guys think is more aesthetically pleasing, let me know. So instead of doing a McRib, I made a MOCKRIB slider, and it was so good that let's just jump into the recipe and show you how to make this. So we're gonna start off with some vital wheat gluten, and it's gonna be a 1 1/4 cups of vital wheat gluten into the bowl. And then we're gonna add some nutritional yeast, which is really great to add when you're cooking because it adds the fundamental B12, and we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of that. And what's the nice thing about cooking with nooch? I call it nooch. I know a lot of people don't like that, but it's just easier to say. The great thing about nooch, if you add it to your food regularly, you really don't need to take a B12 supplement. So I actually stopped taking B12 supplements a while ago, and I feel great just adding nooch to my dishes. A lot of people like to add it on top, but if you're new to it, it probably isn't gonna be the best taste. But as you get more comfortable with it, go ahead and sprinkle it on stuff because it's so good for you. And then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. And if you haven't had smoked paprika before, it can be pretty overwhelming. So I think it works well in this recipe, but always keep in mind that more isn't necessarily better with this spice. But for this recipe, let's stick with 1 tablespoon. Then we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of garlic salt because I'm the garlic salt queen, so every recipe has to have some. Then 1 teaspoon of ground mustard and about 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. And then we're just gonna give this a little mix before we start adding our wet ingredients. And then let's toss in that tablespoon of minced garlic, about 3 tablespoons of coconut, I don't know what's wrong with me. 3 tablespoons of coconut aminos of that coconut. Then instead of adding broth, I'm gonna use some veggie bouillon. And I'm just gonna add 1 tablespoon of that veggie bouillon. I really recommend keeping like a container of bouillon in your fridge because it saves so much money as opposed to buy broth all the time. You can make your own broth and a little goes a long way, which is really nice. And 3/4 of a cup of cold water. For me, I feel like it's really important to make sure the water is cold. It really works well with the vital wheat gluten. And then 1 teaspoon of, which is pretty easy to find. I found mine at Walmart and it's pretty cheap, so definitely add it. It is optional. The first time I made these, I didn't add it and it still was pretty good. But since it's so cheap and easy to find, I would just grab it and add it for shits and giggles. Then mix that up before adding our jackfruit. If you watched my enchilada birthday cake video, I did mention that I like to boil my jackfruit for at least like 35 minutes is I feel like the minimum, but you can go up to an hour, and I feel like the longer you cook it for, the better consistency it can be. So that is totally up to you, but at bare minimum 35 minutes. Also, if you don't know where to find canned jackfruit, Trader Joe's has it for on the cheap. Now let's mix that up, and it's pretty hard to do this with a spoon or spatula, so after it's kind of incorporated, you really want to get in with your hands and start kneading it. Like any seitan recipe, you really want to add a lot of kneading into it just to make sure that it has a nice consistency and doesn't fall apart or taste too spongy. So once you knead it for a few minutes, at least 5 minutes, you're going to go ahead and separate them into 2 little, I guess you call them steaks. And then we're gonna go over to the stove. And I'm using this frying pan that has like the grill marks on the bottom just for presentation, but really after we add the sauce, you're not gonna be able to see it, so it doesn't matter. Added a little bit of the spray oil on there, and we're gonna just fry those up until they're nice and golden brown on each side. And while these are cooking, go ahead and take a baking dish and add a layer of barbecue sauce on the bottom. We're gonna put our seitan on top, add more barbecue sauce and a lid or tin foil if you don't have a lid that can go in the oven. Then around the 30-minute mark, you wanna take it out and take off the lid. And then we're gonna flip these little guys over and add even more sauce. And these are delicate. As I said, they resemble like falling off the bone ribs. So just be a little delicate with it. And then add your barbecue sauce. And we're just gonna toss this back into the oven without any tin foil or lid for another 20 minutes. And this is what the ribs look like afterwards. You can't say that doesn't look delicious. You can actually still see the grill marks under the sauce, so they look legit. So let's go ahead and put together our slider. I did make my own garlic herb rolls for these, which I did not include the recipe into this video, but if you want me to show you how I made them, please like this video, leave a comment, let me know. So these are my little rolls, and we're gonna just cut them in half. And if you like, you can toast them, but I'm just gonna leave it as is. And then go ahead and add some vegan mayo onto each side. And I forgot to add onions, but I think onions will go really well on top. I think the traditional McRib comes with onions. I just forgot to put them on. But we're gonna put on a little slab of that rib and then top it with pickle. And like I said, if you have the onion, add the onion as well. And that's all there is to it. This is the final product. It is so good. I probably should have posted this back in the summer because it's more like a summer recipe. But either way, these are really a crowd pleaser. I had my friend Caitlin, if she was from my birthday brownie recipe, if you want to check that out. She and I devoured them when she came over. They are so good. They are pretty high in protein too. And if you're watching your macros, you can always use the sugar-free barbecue sauce. It's pretty good. I'll put the image of what that is and what the name is out there. And again, I'd like to apologize for not posting the last few days. It's been kind of hectic trying to fix my computer, but it's done. I'm ready to go. And tomorrow, come back and I'll be posting another recipe, a mock chicken and dumplings recipe, which is gonna be bomb from the Veggie Connoisseur, I believe it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share it on your social media. And if you guys have any recommendations of future videos you'd like me to do, go ahead and leave that comment down below and I'll try and get to it. Anyway guys, I love you and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.